Hello, all. Today I'd like to discuss what has caused me to want to try and lose weight. It all stems from my blood pressure. My blood pressure has been high for years because I had a heart attack in the past, back in 2011. At this point, I'm on 5 blood pressure pills, and basically including a couple of those are water pills that do help your blood pressure. But let's go back. Back in November, I had a blood pressure of 216 over 110. I believe I went to the emergency room for that. I don't know what they got it down to or anything. But back then, I was taking off one pill and it was replaced by another that wasn't doing the job, so I had to have that pill increased. Now, through January and February, I had 2 emergency room visits. It was as high as 195 over 110 when I went to the ER. But the time I went to the ER when it was that high, it actually decreased by the time I got there to like 170 over 110 or something. And within 20 minutes after that, it decreased to 135 over 80. And my nephrologist, he was at the hospital on call in the emergency room at that time. And he says, "Oh, it's just stress. It's just stress. We aren't going to put you on another pill." So I think they call it white coat syndrome. When you go to the doctor, you get a lot of anxiety about what it's going to be or whatever. And that increases the pressure. And then once you get there and calm down and realize you're in a safe place, it actually goes down. That's what he said I was going through, which to a point I agree with that. I got to the point where I was scared to take my blood pressure at home because of how high it might be. And every time it was high, I went to the hospital because I was worried. Of course, being 195 over 112, that is definitely a reason to visit the hospital. And now, throughout March, April, and May, my blood pressure has been around, the top number is 150 to 160, and the bottom number, lowest was 82, and it goes up to 96 at one point under the bottom number. But since I started eating a little healthier the last week, it went down to 134 over 90, and that was yesterday. As far as the blood pressure they try to keep a person that has had a heart attack under is 130 over 80. So I'm kind of there, kind of not. I'm hoping by losing weight and maintaining a healthier diet that I will get a lower blood pressure and someday be able to come off 1 or 2 of my pills. I was actually put on 2 of them back in January. Originally I was on 3 instead of 5. So that's what really pushed me to try and start eating correctly, and I guess you could say doing things by the book. But I just want to bring it down because I went to my heart doctor and my nephrologist the last 2 weeks, and they pretty much said, "We're not going to give you anything else. It's because of what you're eating." And I can tell you I was eating loads of sodium. I would eat canned vegetables. I mean, I was eating healthy. It was just all canned stuff. Canned vegetables, tuna. I splurged on microwave popcorn and added some of that butter powder to it. So I'm sure all those things were not helping my blood pressure. But now I'm basically eating beef, frozen vegetables, even though my nephrologist told me they have to be fresh. But I find there's not much sodium in frozen vegetables, so I'm replacing the canned vegetables with those. And I also eat eggs and yogurt. And occasionally a pork chop in the morning. That's at Waffle House, so I don't know how much sodium's in that, but it's protein, so it can't be too terribly much. According to their calorie whatever it's called, that shows your calories and sodium and everything. Online I looked and it's like 50 milligrams of sodium per pork chop, but I don't necessarily trust that. Anyway, that's why I am trying to lose weight. Yesterday I weighed 271. It was point something, I don't remember what it was, but this morning I weighed 270.6. So I'm going to say I lost at least a half a pound. And before that, I've lost, right now, it's almost 10 pounds that I've lost since the 11th of May. And most of that is water weight, from the fluid, from the high sodium. And since I'm not intaking so much sodium at this point, that's why I'm losing the fluid that build up from having so much sodium. So anyway, I wanted to update you on today's progress and what my blood pressures have been and why I'm losing weight or trying to lose weight. And hopefully I can continue the journey. But like and subscribe and follow if you're interested in seeing me all the way through to my hopefully 190 pounds by May of 2027.